everyone. Hi, and welcome to another revision session for RENET. I hope all of you have been following this series of RENET revision sessions, and I believe they have helped you these questions and discussions. So today I'm back with one more session, a new session and new questions. So let me start by sharing my screen first. Okay, I believe the screen is visible. Okay, so I welcome you all again to Vallath NTA RENET revision session 18. Okay, so welcome everyone. So let's get started with our very first question. And if you are new to our channel, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon for all notifications. Okay, right, next. When mirrors are windows toward an anthology of reflections, it's an essay by whom? Is it A.K. Ramanujan, Nissim Ezekiel, R. Parthasarathi, or Namdeo Dhasal? Indian writers will be very important, both their works of fiction, non-fiction, essays, autobiographies, biographies, everything. So tell me, who wrote this essay? When mirrors are windows. Tell me. Yes. It is none other than by A.K. Ramanujan. It's a very important essay where mirrors are windows toward an anthology of reflections. Okay? This essay by Ramanujan actually reflects on Ramanujan's life in India and in USA. Okay? Clear? Right. Next. Mr. Cood's He Dead is the epigraph to which poem among the following? The Westland, The Hollow Men, Ash Wednesday, or The Love Song of Alfred Prufrock. Actually, this poem has two epigraphs. Mr. Cood's He Dead and A Penny for the Old Guy. So now you know which poem I'm referring to. Yes, it is The Hollow Men. The Hollow Men has two epigraphs. Mr. Cood's He Dead from Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness and A Penny for the Old Guy. Okay? Please be very careful about the epigraphs of not only poems, but also novels. Okay? Right. Next question. Are you all following? Yes? Okay. Have you all liked the session? Right. Okay. Which among the following is not a conversation poem by Coleridge? We all know that Coleridge wrote 8 conversation poems. I will also tell you those 8 conversation poems, the names. But now tell me, of these 4 options, one poem is there which is not a conversation poem. This Lime Tree Bower, My Prison, Frost at Midnight, Kubla Khan, Fears in Solitude. Tell me, which is not a conversation poem? Tell me. Are you all answering? Tell me. Yes, you all are correct. Kubla Khan is not a conversation poem. So which are the conversation poems? This Lime Tree Bower, My Prison, Frost at Midnight, Fears in Solitude, The Aeolian Har, Reflections on Having Left a Place of Retirement, right? The Nightingale, a conversation poem, Dejection and Ode to a Gentleman, right? These are the conversation poems of Coleridge. There are 8 conversation poems. And these 8 conversation poems have a common theme which tie them together. That is the theme of one life. The theme of one life. A very important concept associated with Coleridge. He believed in the organic unity. Right? Remember? Okay. Next. Who among the following was hailed as a well-mannered court slave by Dryden? Let me just see the chat, what you all are saying. So who was a well-mannered court slave according to Dryden? Horace, Cicero, Ovid or Quintilian? Tell me. It is obviously Horace. Horace was hailed as a well-mannered court slave by Dryden. Yes. Have you all liked the session? Yes. Okay, next. Hello, Jyoti. Hi. Okay, next. Choose the wrong statement about women in love. We have seen such statement-based questions from novels last time also, when we had CBT exam in December, right? So tell me, which is the wrong statement here? Women in Love, 1920, it's a novel by D.H. Lawrence, and it's a sequel to The Rainbow, 1915. And this novel follows the continuing loves and lives of the Brangwen sisters, Gudrun and Ursula. Gudrun Brangwen, an artist, pursues a destructive relationship with Gerald Kritsch, an industrialist. Rupert Birkin here is the alienated intellectual who can be seen as an alter ego of D.H. Lawrence. And Ursula here is based on the character of Ursula here is based on Catherine Mansfield, which is the wrong statement. Hi, Ambika, hi. So which is the wrong statement here about the novel, Women in Love? The last option is wrong because Ursula here is not based on Catherine Mansfield. The character of Ursula is based on D.H. Lawrence's wife, Frida. And Gudrun's character is based on Catherine Mansfield. Because in this novel, Ursula and Rupert Birkin, they are a couple. And on the other hand, we have Gerald Kretsch and Gudrun. Okay? Rupert Birkin here can be seen as an alter ego of D.H. Lawrence himself. That's why Ursula, his partner, is based on the character of D.H. Lawrence's wife, Frida. And Gudrun's character is based on Catherine Mansfield. Clear? The other three options are correct. Okay. So before I proceed, let me tell you all that we have already started our NTA Net English quiz series. Through this quiz series, what will you get? You will get topic-wise quizzes every day from both paper 1 and 2, and also model tests for intensive practice. Net is just around the corner, the re-exam. So if you haven't enrolled for this course yet, it's a great time to get enrolled for this course through our official website, vallath.in, and you can get awesome practice before the exam and get JRF, right? All right. So let's move on. Again, we have a statement-based question. Please be very careful about the statements when you read them in the exam. Even a mistake in reading can make you lose your 2 very precious marks, right? So statement 1, William Caxton was the first to translate Ovid's Metamorphoses into English in 1480. Statement 2, the School of Abuse, containing a pleasant invective against poets, pipers, players, jesters, and such caterpillars of the Commonwealth by Stephen Gosson, was published in 1579. And you have 4 options. Both are true, both are wrong. Statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is wrong, or none of the above. 2 very important statements, I believe. So tell me. Both the statements are true because it was indeed William Caxton, the printer. He was the one who first translated this masterpiece, Ovid's Metamorphoses, into English for the first time in 1480. And Stephen Gosson's The School of Abuse was published in 1579, and it was dedicated to Sir Philip Sidney, right? And in response, Philip Sidney had written an apology for poetry or defense of poesy. Clear? Yes, correct. Both are true. Right. Okay, next. Have you all liked the session? Please do. Okay, right. Next, who said pathos is the only sentiment? Who said this? Bhavabhuti, Bhoja, Abhinavagupta, or Bharata? It's a question from Sanskrit Poetics and Criticism. So, who said that pathos is the only sentiment? It was said by Bhavabhuti. Bhavabhuti. Clear? Next. Now we have a question from cultural studies. Okay. Name the concept discussed by Arjun Appadurai in Disjuncture and Difference in the Global Cultural Economy, where he conceptualizes this idea by dividing its flow into 5 different scapes. Remember? Ethnoscape, ideoscape, financescape. So, what is that concept he has talked about in this particular essay? Globalization, gynesis, intersectionality, or cultural materialism? Very easy question. It is indeed globalization. Clear? Is it clear? Okay, next. The debate on the condition of England was initiated by whom? A question from Victorian literature and criticism. Was it Hazlitt, Walter Bagshot, Thomas Carlyle, or Matthew Arnold? Who was it? Who talked about this idea of condition of England? It was Thomas Carlyle. Thomas Carlyle was a very important Scottish scholar and writer and critique of the Victorian era. Right? And back in the Victorian era, the working conditions, right, of the laborers were very unhygienic and horrible. Taking that as a reference, he talked about condition of England, right, about the working class, the working conditions of the contemporary era. So it was Thomas Carlyle. Next, a big statement-based question. Choose the wrong statement about Surtur researchers. Ready for the statements? First statement. Surtur researchers, the life and opinions of Herr Teufelsdrockh in 3 books is an 1831 novel by Thomas Carlyle, which was first published as a serial in Fraser's magazine from November 1833 to August 1834. Next, this novel purports to be a commentary on the thought and early life of a German philosopher called Diogenes Teufelsdrockh, author of a tome entitled Clothes, Their Origin and Influence. And lastly, this work is in part a parody of Hegel and of German idealism more generally. So, which is it? Or all are true? In exam, please don't jump at all are true, okay? Because all might not be true. But here, obviously, all are true. It's a very important work by Carlyle. And this work parodies Hegel and German idealism. Clear? Have you all liked the session? Why so few likes? Please like the session. I work so hard for the questions, and please share this with your friends as well. Okay? Next. Voss, 1957, is the 5th published novel by Dash. And this novel is based upon the life of the 19th century Prussian explorer and naturalist Ludwig Leichhardt, who disappeared while on an expedition into the Australian outback. So who wrote this novel? Was David Malouf, Patrick White, Les Murray, or Miles Franklin? Obviously, it is Patrick White. Next. The Blind Assassin. Easy question. It's a novel by Dash. And this work also got the Booker Prize in 2000. So who wrote this novel, The Blind Assassin? Margaret Lawrence, Margaret Atwood, Alice Munro, or Doris Lessing? Very easy question. Yes, we will continue these sessions till the re-exam for sure. Obviously, it's by Margaret Atwood. The Blind Assassin. Who is the protagonist? Iris Chase. And this book got the Booker Prize in 2000. Which was the debut novel of Margaret Atwood? The Edible Woman. And second novel was Surfacing. Clear? Okay, next. The Moons of Jupiter. It's a book of short stories by whom? Alice Munro, Beatrice Culleton, Margaret Atwood, or none of the above. The Moons of Jupiter. It's a collection of short stories by whom? It is by? Yes, this writer got the Nobel Prize in Literature from Canada. Obviously, Alice Munro. She wrote this collection of short stories, The Moons of Jupiter. Okay? Next. The Secret Agent. A Simple Tale, a work of spy fiction by Conrad, is dedicated to whom? This novel by Conrad was dedicated to which writer? Arthur Conan Doyle, Wilkie Collins, H.G. Wells, or Agatha Christie? The Secret Agent by Conrad. It's a work of spy fiction. And this novel was dedicated to some writer. Who was that writer? Doyle, Collins, Wells, Christie. Obviously, it is H.G. Wells. H.G. Wells. Are you all following? Are you all liking the sessions and the questions and discussions? Feeling confident after solving these questions? Yes? Okay. Okay, next. Dubliners is a collection of 15 short stories by James Joyce, first published in 1914. Be very careful about the years. It presents a naturalistic depiction of Irish middle-class life in and around Dublin in the early years of the 20th century. True or false? Is it true that Dubliners was published in 1914, or was it some other year? Is this statement true or false? The Dubliners, it's a collection of 15 short stories. Be very careful about these numbers. Dubliners is a collection of 15 short stories by James Joyce, published in 1914. Is it true or false? True. And this collection presents a naturalistic depiction of Irish middle-class life in and around Dublin in the early years of the 20th century. Clear? Okay. Again, we have a statement-based question. Okay. Choose the wrong statement about Jude the Obscure. Ready? First statement. It is Hardy's last completed novel. Next. The protagonist, Jude Foley, is a working-class young man. He's a stonemason who dreams of becoming a scholar. Next. Sue Bridehead here, the heroine, she is against the institution of marriage. Lastly, Little Father Time is the son of Sue Bridehead and Jude, which is the wrong statement. Which is the wrong statement? And how is it wrong? Yes. The last option is wrong, because Little Father Time was the son of Jude and which lady? He was not the son of Sue Bridehead. Who was the mother? Yes, Little Father Time was the son of... Tell me the mother's name in the comments. Jude, and who was the mother? Arabella. Very good, very good. Little Father Time was the son of Arabella and Jude. not Sue Bridehead. The other options are correct. It was the last completed novel by Hardy, published in 1895. And here, Jude Foley, he wants to go to Christminster and he wants to become a religious scholar. He was inspired by his teacher, Phillotson. And he also aspires to be a religious scholar and he wants to get into a university at Christminster, right? And here the heroine, she's a very well-learned woman. She's a new woman of Hardy, and she was against the institution of marriage. That's why she never married Jude, remember? But somehow she was compelled by the society to go back to Phillotson, right? Okay. Little Father Time was the son of Jude and Arabella. Sue Bridehead was not the mother, right? Don't get confused. Yes, Arabella Dawn and Jude next. So that's all from my side for tonight. And before I leave, I just want to remind you all that we have started our NTA Net English quiz series. And if you get into this course, you will get topic-wise quizzes every day from both the papers and also model tests. Exam is near. You can enroll for this course and get awesome practice, right? So that's all for tonight. I really hope you guys enjoyed the session and the questions. So I will see you again on Thursday. Tomorrow will be paper 1 ka session by Jobin sir. Do attend that as well, right? Fine then. Thank you for joining. Bye. Take care. Good night.